Here we are, continuing on our spiritual journey towards a more generous life. Have you ever thought about the question, why does God bless me so abundantly? I mean, you begin to keep track of the blessings that God has given to you. You write them down, the things that you're thankful for, the blessings that He gives to you, count your many blessings, name them one by one. Why does God bless us? Why does He bless you financially? You know, the Bible really answers that question. Proverbs chapter 10 says, the good man's earnings advance the cause of righteousness. You see, if we're a good man, our earnings are supposed to advance the cause of righteousness. It says the evil man squanders his earnings on sin. God blesses us financially so that we, in turn, can be a blessing to others. That's what it's all about. So many of us think that God blesses us. We open our mouth and say, feed me, feed. Can you see the robin, little baby bird, opening its mouth? Feed me, feed me. But God feeds us. He blesses us, not because we're selfish, not because we are in need of a blessing. He blesses us, Scripture says, so that we can be a blessing to others. Our earnings are to advance the cause of God. Most of us don't often think about it that way. Ellen White writes in Reflecting Christ, acts of generosity and benevolence were designed by God to keep the hearts of the children of men tender and sympathetic, and to encourage them an interest and affection for one another in imitation of the Master, who for our sakes became poor, that we through His poverty might be rich. Here we see again, we see what we've been talking about. God is generous. Jesus is generous. This act of generosity, this act of benevolence, God became poor so that we could become rich. Now think about this. If we're going to follow logically, if God becomes poor so that we can become rich, when God blesses us financially, He expects us to become, what was that? He expects us to become what? If we are following His example, that's right. God expects us to become poor so that others can become rich. Proverbs 11:24 says, it is possible to give away and become richer. It is also possible to hold on too tightly and lose everything. Yes, the liberal man, what's that mean, the liberal man? That's the person that gives away. Yes, the liberal man will be rich by watering others. He waters himself. I don't know how many times I've seen it, but over and over and over again. I've seen it in church after church after church. There's always somebody that seems to be struggling financially, somebody that we want to call poor, but yet the whole neighborhood, children always want to be at that home because it's filled with love. By watering others, that person waters themselves. By holding on too tightly, we are crimping God's hose that He wants to use to water us. God blesses us financially so that we in turn can be a blessing to others. That's the principle of heaven. Bless